Hey everybody, so Vlog episode 1. This is something new I'm trying. I kind of prefer the written medium, but hey, I'm trying new things, so I'm going to throw this out there and see what happens. I'm just going to talk for a few minutes about some things. If you've read my blog posts, if you've checked out my website or looked at any of my courses, you kind of know what I'm already about. If you haven't, a couple of things that I really kind of focus on with this type of stuff is leadership, personal development, bridging the gap between millennials and other generations in the workspace, really all generations at the workplace. I think there's a lot that we can do. There's a lot that can be gained from increasing understanding between folks. That's kind of where my sweet spot is, and what I've really tried to do with this business type stuff is find that area where folks can find common ground. One of the first things we want to talk about is what I think is kind of the central, if you will, area that you have to look at when you look at starting a job, whether as an employee or as the founder of the company, is you're in business to add value, right? But what does adding value look like? And my contention is that adding value frequently doesn't look like what you think it looks like. The key to success is not always being the best at something. The key to success isn't even always having the product that you're in the niche to support. If you look at throughout history, some of the greatest innovators and consequently most influential and wealthiest people were not the creators, but the enablers. I like it. The example I use in one of my written blog posts is of the when you think of the California gold rush in the 1800s, very, very tiny percentage of the people that went out there looking for gold actually became wealthy as a result of gold. However, the enablers, the people who sold the shovels and pickaxes and covered wagons and horses and built the infrastructure to enable these folks to go pursue their dreams, consequently, many times the number of folks actually succeeded in those ventures. When you look through history at guys like, you could go all the way back to the Rockefellers and the Morgans and those guys of the kind of robber baron era. Most of the guys that made the big bucks in those eras were not the guys doing the thing. They were the bankers, and Rockefeller didn't drill for oil. He perfected the refining and transport of the oil. So consequently, there will always be more people out there who are equipped to enable than there are people who are equipped to create. And while we all want to be the creators and we all want to be the innovators and the dreamers and the Elon Musks of the world, if you will, there's far more opportunity to add value to something that someone else is already doing. There's far more opportunity for you to make an impact with somebody else's, in partnership with somebody else, I should say, doing what you're good at. A lot of folks that you'll hear talk through these kind of spheres of influence will talk about finding your strengths, doing what you're good at, and basically outsourcing the rest. So adding value can look like you being one of those outsourced people. It can look like you taking over something that you're strong at on behalf of someone whose skills lie in a different area. Partnerships, collaboration, especially in the digital age, is huge. There's no reason, well, I shouldn't say no reason. There's very little reason for anybody to be going it alone, to be a solopreneur, if you will. You can have the vision and you can have the dream and you can have the goals and all that stuff, but it's so easy to harness the talent of people around you to just make your product and make what you do on a daily basis that much better. And so when we think of adding value and we think of giving people what they want, a lot of times what they want is somebody to run the money side of their business, or to run marketing, or to run advertising, or to handle distribution of their product, or any of that kind of stuff. The thing that I want to take away, and how this all kind of ties into, episode 1 of the video blog and all that stuff of, bridging the gap, is regardless of where you work or what you do, or if you're an entrepreneur or an employee, wherever you're at, the point is that you will get much farther if you can find that area, whatever that area may be, where you add value, where you add the most value. Because people are going to want your skills, they're going to want your expertise, they're going to want your abilities to help them. It's kind of like that old, saying about however many hundreds of failed ideas there were out there because people were trying to solve a problem that no one was having. And you may have to look really hard to find the area where you can actually problem solve for someone that is truly having a problem that needs solving and is willing to pay for your expertise to solve it. But you may not. There may be a place right now, there may be a company or a fellow entrepreneur or somebody right now that you can engage with that you can provide that value to them that they can't get on their own. And they can in turn provide that value to you. One of the key things about bridging the gap is networking. You have to be able to network with people of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all professions, in order to be successful in this day and age. Networking is key. It is super key. It is critical to everything that you're doing. If you don't network, you can't make it on your own in this interconnected, increasingly locked-in society that we have. If you don't network, you can't do it on your own. That being said, if you can network, and if networking is your strength, then you don't really have to have practical, you don't have to be a designer or a builder or a creator. If you can bring people together better than anybody else in your immediate sphere of influence, you have added value to everyone around you right there, because you have created those relationships with people and you have increased exponentially the ability of those companies, those people, to not only make money, but to impact through their industry, through their creativity, through whatever their particular slice of the pie may be. You have increased their ability to go out and do good. And if you have the ability to provide skills to somebody that doesn't have them, regardless of whether you're the dreamer or the creative or the marketer or whatever, if you can create those collaborative environments, and if you can tap into the resources of other people around you, whether it's through social media or through the internet or through old-fashioned meeting up at trade conferences, if you can increase your network, you can increase your value. And if you can add to the ability of other people to bring value to the marketplace, you have increased your value to the marketplace, and consequently your ability to impact change in that marketplace. A couple other things I just wanted to throw out there before we wrap up with this very first kind of musings of the video blog is thanks for listening, those of you that listen. This is another new thing we're trying out here at MilLEADial. Hopefully you'll get some value out of this. You will feel that this has added value. And if you do, drop us a comment, drop us a line, and be sure to sign up if you're at all interested in anything else that we have to offer. Sign up through our email list. There should be a link at the bottom of the page. And you'll see a monthly newsletter and some other stuff that we've got going on. But for now, that takes care of it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.